Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakwadash. As always, those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah, the Father's name, that means He is, He exists. Yahawashi is the Son's name, that means He saves, He delivers. And Kakwadash means a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. Right? That's in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kadash, right? Which is also the holy language. Salaki, the holy tongue. Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. I ain't got no hiccups, man. Alright, of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and sincerity taught us His truth, and Shalawam to the Lord, so for elect 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. Alright, this is just a quick one in transit. Just watched my brother Yahawah's video, GMS Yahawah down there in El Paso camp, and he was going in on that this dude talking about being behind bars, okay, and nobody in there would do that crime again and face that situation again. God, you know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful epistle. I shared it, encouraged brothers to go watch it, right? And on that mindset, you thinking about the things of the world, and that you really changed, because your mindset is different. So you can avoid those mistakes before they even made, because you're not putting yourself in that same type of atmosphere, right? You're not putting yourself in that same environment to fall into those mistakes, okay, that our fellow Israelites fall into. You know what I'm saying? Caught up in the white man's crab in a bucket syndrome, okay? Thinking that we all gotta fight each other and kill each other, and competition spirit and all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to leave that behind. So, the brother said something, man, I gotta drink some water. The brother said something based upon how he used to love Nipsey Hussle, and I used to love Nipsey Hussle, it was just the music and shit. And I actually saw him, I went to a show before. I was like a fan, you know what I'm saying? And it was like I liked what he stood for, because it wasn't, at that time in the world, I didn't think it was like the same as every other rapper, which it kind of is, in a sense, just a little more organized. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so-called business-minded and all that. But he was still, you listen to his music, he's still pushing the same shit. Okay? His gang coaches, it's all of that. Sometimes he may say a smart thing here and there, whatever, but ultimately his vibration is off. And that's what, you got to understand for you Jakes. That's, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, I went back, time to time, go back and listen to some shit. And I went back and I listened to it, the Victory Lap, like 4 days ago, I think. And I was skipping everything. I was skipping damn near every song. I was like, nah, this ain't it. Nah, I can't, nah. Because the spirit. So you truly, you go back and listen and things that it's disgusting to you. Or if it holds no value anymore. It doesn't hit the same. I go back and listen to, my favorite rapper was Cole. I go back and listen to Cole's old stuff, and it don't hit the same. Kendrick don't hit the same. Old Drake don't hit the same. Because that worldly spirit is truly up off of us. I'm sure brothers know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That shit just ain't appealing. The world is not appealing. So the people in the world, all they talking about is the world. It's not appealing. It don't hit. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's a true I guess mark, a benchmark or whatever you want to call it. That's a true mark, a landmark, a spiritual mark, right? And that this truth is real. That is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is really working with you when He makes everything in the world seem disgusting to you. Stuff that you used to Like I said, I went to a Nipsey Hussle concert, spent money. I think shit was like $100, $200, right? And I took my rib at the time, right? The chick that whatever. And I spent money, and you would invest. That's investing. You're investing your time. These people in the world, they're invested in all this stuff that they believe in. And they're living in a fairy tale. And it's all going to come collapsing down very soon. And they're going to realize all these individuals that they were following were false prophets. These activities were not profitable. Yahawah, it says in Sirach 10:4, he's going to set up someone that's profitable. And that is Yahawashi. Right? And then he's going to, under Yahawashi is going to set up profitable men, which are the prophets. So, a profitable kingdom is coming. So we have forsaken, we have pushed behind, and it's a beautiful thing to push behind all the corrupt stuff that hindered us and destroyed us and brought us low. And the ways of the world bring you into a low vibration. It brings you into a toxic situation. It messes you up, man. It messes with your mindset. Okay? That's why a righteous man forsakes all wickedness. He leaves these things behind. And he moves on in the path that Yahawah has deemed for him. Okay, you truly letting Yahawah be your guide, as it states in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Right? You're not letting your iniquities lift up themselves. You're not letting old sins stand in front of you. Like, damn, I did this, I did that. Nah, you're moving past those situations. You're not committing that offense again. Right? So you're a new man. The old ways that you used to partake in are disgusting to you. Alright? It don't hit. I just saw Jake standing out there looking crazy. These ways, our people down bad, man. But why? It's because the vibrations, the frequencies, everything that they're involved in. It was a saying I was told as a kid. 10-word phrase. If it is to be, it is up to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know, understanding there's no free will. Okay? But it's up to you to make your call into the election. Sure, you got to go forth and pray, fast. All right? Do your best. Do the work. Okay? And ultimately, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, he's throwing you a spirit. He's going to he's keeping that fire burning. Jeremiah didn't want to do it, But Yahawah said, Jeremiah was like, I'm too young, boom, boom, boom. Right? Yahawah said, I'm going to light that fire up inside you. I'm going to make it where you have to. You can't back away from this thing that I've set you and appointed you to be. Right? You have been, if this truth has been given to you, you have been appointed to a position of an honorable position. So it's like, you're going to reject that position, or you're going to, encourage that position. All right? Embody that position. Okay? This is a far greater position. You're a precious thing among Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You're precious in his eyes. So you should grow with fervent love, intensifying, and that means you're growing farther away from the world. You're growing farther away from the old you, and you're growing more into the new you, which is getting you closer to that everlasting body. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hit too many precepts, just in transit. But that was on my mind, man. Once again, go watch that brother Yahawah Hopeful Elect down in the El Paso camp. The video he just did, and it's a beautiful video, right? And that life sentence, these guys get sentenced or whatever amount of time. I've never been to prison. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? But I know, hey, Yahawah know I ain't made for that, man. I ain't for real. That's why I ain't do nothing bad. I stay my ass out. But I know individuals that have committed crimes and things of that nature, cousins, and, you know what I'm saying, that's been in did time. Okay? And it affects everybody. Shoot, it affects, the family. Your cousin gone, your brother gone, your whoever gone. You don't get to see them, or you got to go to the prison and see them. So it affects everybody. That's why you gotta understand your actions affect everybody. Your actions, especially being the head of your house, your actions affect your family. So you thinking about them before you even do anything. That's you considering. So your love for many ain't waxing cold. That's speaking about the world in Matthew 24:12. Okay? Our love for our people that's really a part of this thing is waxing stronger. Like I said, growing fervent in this love. At the top for Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So the love for the brotherhood is growing stronger and stronger. That's how we're gonna come. We're not wearying and breaking away. You'll be forced. The spirit compels you, to force you to get right, to force you to move the correct way and the proper way. You know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. That's what it needs to be, man. Alright? Because you got to go into positions and situations that you don't want to go into. Uncomfortable situations, man. Before governors, before mayors, before individuals that want to put you to death. Right? But Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to give you words where nobody can gainsay you. He's going to set you up. So you got to walk into that new man and stay in that new man consistently. May you stay in this thing. Do the steps every day. If you ever had a job where you got to do PTS, maintenance, right? Preventative maintenance. Okay, you gotta run the little steps in the beginning. Check the tires, check the gas, check the brakes, make sure the brakes work. Check this, check that, check that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do those steps before you can even drive and operate. You gotta do that every day. Check yourself. I pray. Did I do this? Do I do my lesson? Did I do this? Am I doing? You know what I'm saying? That's examining yourself. So just like when you get in your car, just like when you start up that forklift, you know what I'm saying? I used to drive forklifts. Just like when you drive a forklift or whatever it may be, you got to go through those steps. And you got to be consistent with that. You can't slack off. I know the brakes is good, so I ain't gonna check them today. Nah, bro, you gotta check them. You know what I'm saying? What if they not good? Then you going 50, 60, and you hitting the brakes, and you yeah, your ass stuck because you didn't want to check. You didn't want to examine. The brakes could be bad. They could be about to break. And they good. You ain't checked them in 2 weeks. Now they break on you. They need to be oiled up. They need to, they need to be changed. That goes into your habits, your ways, your thoughts. These little sins that's trying to creep back in. Trying to mess with you. You gotta check these things, man. So consistently examine thyself. Not just every other week. Examine thyself, man. So you can stay in that new man. Okay? Hey, man, that's all I got, man. Hey, hey, the word Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. With that being said, giving all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and abide with bar. I pray this was edifying to the sheep. Alright? Hey, keep maintaining. If you can't see the light, living in darkness. Shalawam, shalawam.